Can I say something,
Yeah, go ahead.
Afolabi?
Go
America
ahead.
has been an oligarchy since 1776. They've been an oligarchy since 1776. They were started by slave owners, George Washington and company, people who owned slaves and who owned land.
Yeah.
And they made a constitution in which black people weren't considered human. Now, throughout the history of America, there has never been one point in which the elite don't run America. And that's what an oligarchy is. Now,
Okay.
before Elon Musk rose to power under Trump or with Trump, I'm going to use the word with Trump because neither one, Trump and Elon Musk have a close relationship. Before Trump and Elon Musk emerged, the Democrats and the Republicans belonged and still belong to AIPAC, the Israel group, and they belong to corporate people, the people who give them lobbying money. For example, Biden, Biden's son was on the board of oil with Ukraine to make money. Biden gets his money from weapons manufacturers and war people and goes to war. So my argument is that regardless, we can argue the other part about whether it's an oligarchy. You say you don't think it's an oligarchy with Musk, but even if it is, so what? The people before were oligarchs too. The U.S. is an oligarchy in that the rich are above the law. They can do whatever they want to do, and the politicians are owned by special interest groups, which is why in America black boys can walk around with semi-automatic weapons on the streets and not get arrested because the gun manufacturers have paid off the politicians to make the rules so that people can just carry guns anyhow, which is why America is a violent country. So in short, what I'm saying is that America is an oligarchy, has always been one, and nothing has changed. So they don't need to say that because what's his name is in office now and he's being influenced because Trump is being influenced by Elon Musk. Oh, we've become an oligarchy. Always have been an oligarchy. What do you think, Falabi? Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. I don't see it as oligarchy. I just see that the last dispensation, especially the democratic regime, has seen a lot of irresponsible spending, a lot of ineffective fiscal policies.
Yeah.
And I think Elon Musk's approach is more of a technocrat kind of to change the
Yeah,
status
yeah.
quo.
I wouldn't call it. Yeah, you're
He's
right.
trying to
So,
change, yes, he's trying to change the
yeah.
status quo. And many of them are looking at it in a different direction. I just wanted to mention the
Okay.
fact that America is borrowing a lot of money to Japan, China in form of bonds and treasury bills. One of the reasons why Musk is doing what he's doing is to cut all these expenses that the Democrats have carried out for so long. He wants that to be a ceiling for this borrowing so that you don't just keep borrowing, borrowing, borrowing. It's
Yeah.
estimated is about $8.7 billion daily in bonds and treasury bills.
Okay.
So it's because of all these things that is taking this approach. But I don't know, people just don't
Yeah.
like it. That's why they're saying it's
Yeah.
an
Yeah. Well, I
oligarchy.
mean, so, and I think that what he's proposing, that's not oligarchy. But here's the question. Um, and I'm just asking, what gives Elon Musk the right to dictate the American budget? That's the big question. If he's dictating the American budget, it means that he has some power or some say so. That's kind of oligarchic because he's not an elected leader. What do you think about that? Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you. You are actually right to
Yeah.
say that. But I think it
Yeah.
should be balanced also in the sense that these guys are just, they're shaping up their cabinets. Officially, they are not in
Yeah.
government yet.
He-
So you can't,
yeah,
I
I
think
think
it's a little bit premature to say,
yeah. But we know that de facto he's part of Trump's cabinet de
oh,
facto,
sure,
even if it's
absolutely.
not technically. And it's
Absolutely.
because he gave Trump the money. But my argument is that the Democrats who are complaining, there's so many people behind the scenes like Soros and Co. from
Yes,
before who
of course.
dictated because they have
Exactly.
money and power. Yeah, what do you say, Said? Yeah.
I think both of you guys analysis is top notch. You guys
Yeah.
took almost the words out of my mouth because first of all, to back up what you said, Mr. Mustafa, like the
Yeah.
oligarchy stuff, it did not start now. It has been happening as in this is how American government works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Billionaires,
Yeah.
donors. You guys call them donors. They have influence over all these most of all these politicians. So well, I think the game now Democrats, because I think it's the Democrats that are trying to push that narrative. It's the narrative and the propaganda they are trying to use to spike Donald Trump ego, if it's going to work, because they know that if both of them continue the way they are going, they are going to be very, very formidable. That no matter the kind of idea they want to push, they are going to succeed with it, because they knew what happened in this last election. It is something that Democrats didn't see it coming at all. They actually underrate the influence Elon Musk and Donald Trump being together. You know what they can achieve. So right now they are complaining that Elon Musk is in the de facto president. They all know that it's a lie. Are they going to say that Trump is going to be very, very worse, like this your president now, Biden? It's not possible now. We all know that. Well,
Biden is the de facto not president, because he's president in name only.
If I were to me, all that can be said now is that Elon Musk has far-reaching influence on Donald Trump.
Yeah,
I think oligarchy is a long stretch, and like you rightly mentioned, Mustafa, it's been there even with the Democrats. It's been there in the past.
America is not an oligarch country. It's a capitalist country. Let's keep it real. America runs by capitalism, which means that even the
Kamala Harris.
Hold on, let me finish my point.
Okay.
No, let me quickly finish my point. No, you go first, then I'll go. Just go. Because the rhythm is.
You guys know that Kamala Harris has a lot of billionaire donors, more than Donald Trump.
No, American politics.
Why are they complaining that?
American politics is run by money. Its government is run by money. Its schools are run by money. Everything is money. If you don't have good money, you don't have good schools, because even public education is free in America. But the quality of your education in your neighborhood depends on the average income in your neighborhood, because it's paid from taxes. So in rich neighborhoods, the schools are better than in poor neighborhoods, even though it's government funded, because they take, let's say you live in a rich neighborhood, the taxes from there are more. So, or the money there in those rich neighborhoods is more. So the kids get better education. So even money determines education. If you're born poor in America, you have nothing. If you're poor in America, you can never be president unless you have money behind you. So it's true. Trump has the money with not just Musk. There's some boys bigger than Musk that are backing Trump. That's the new American government and economy. What were you going to say, Saeed? Yeah.
Yeah, like to back up what we've been saying, I don't think on my own point, I don't think Elon Musk is influencing anything, because most of all this ideology he's pushing is just common sense. I follow Trump almost all his tweets. I see them. I like it is his own ideology, and what he's pushing is something that it is influenced by we common people on Twitter, just common sense. He immediately sees it.
I'll give you one thing that happened. I'll give you one thing that happened. Japan bought American Steel under Biden's stupid regime. They sold American Steel, the company, for $7 billion to Japan. That means Japan owns American Steel. But as soon as Trump won, Japan is now reinvesting $2 billion back into American infrastructure, so that's basically a tariff. Because they know that if they don't push those $2 billion, Trump will be like, nothing for you guys. Because there's one company, American Steel, but there's other American steel companies. So that company that's owned by Japan owns a company, and the name of the company is American Steel. And Japanese investors have put $1 billion. So they're reinvesting in America. That money is going to help Americans get jobs and stuff. But at the same time, it's going to help the Japanese company. But my thing is that Biden sold, not Biden, but the Americans are selling their. It's just like Nigeria selling your oil companies to outsiders, to Malta and all those places, when you can do it yourself. So this is what I don't know if it can work.
It is a politician that's doing it, not really Americans. I would say.
What were you going to say, Afolabi?
What I was saying is that you hit a very, very strong point here, in that Japan knows that about the largest market for their automobile industry is the United States of America. Toyota, Honda, Nissan. That is the largest market is in America. So
now they have to please America a little bit.
Of course, they have to do business. They have to invest in America, and it pays them. It's a win-win situation. I mean, the Camry brand made its name and its success, I think, somewhere in Kentucky. That's where the assembly plant is. So you can't stop that. And Trump will help to drive that kind of business initiative. I feel people should be patient and look at the outcomes of these fiscal and financial reforms rather than jumping to say that this guy is oligarch and stuff.
So my only concern is that Musk advises that the U. So notice I said advise because he's not commanding; he's advising that America cuts its budget. But we know that what's going to happen is they're going to cut social programs first. They need to start off with the military, but they won't do that because if you do that, you'll be ousted or you'll be killed by the government. You understand what I'm saying? So my problem is that
but foreign policy, military operations, there should be some kind of cutting that. Yeah.
You have to cut back on that. But my point being is that, but my problem is that my thing is that we have to reduce the budget, but at the same time we have to increase spend. We have to reduce the budget in order to increase spending on schools, on healthcare, which Trump doesn't want to do. But I'm not saying that that's irrelevant to reducing the budget. The budget needs to be reduced. But I'm just arguing that once the budget is reduced,
if I may remind you guys, remember that Trump has already appointed Elon Musk and Vivek to do these things that we are talking about, to reduce. I think Elon Musk has already started his work that he's appointed for.
But here's my argument. I don't believe that Trump. I don't believe that Trump.
Budget and stuff.
Yeah. Here's what. Let me be honest with you. I don't believe that Trump and Elon Musk care about black neighborhoods in America. I don't think they're willing to start spending government money to help black neighborhoods in America. What do you think? Tell the truth. I know we like Trump. Tell the truth. Do you think when the country starts doing well, they'll reinvest in black communities where kids are killing each other and selling drugs?
I think when we start thinking this way, then we are. Let me say, Republicans will be no different from Democrats. What do you mean by helping black people? If back in the day,
well, here's what I mean. Let me rephrase it. Let me rephrase it very quickly. Let me rephrase. Not help black people. Invest money in neighborhoods which have crime and have no income and need severe help. Most of those neighborhoods are black, but some of them are white also.
Now you are using you get it. Now you are using the word,
but they're not because they're not socialists. They're not socialists. They're capitalists.
Like race or something. That is why I said. That is why I said American first. Make America great again. Immediately when your economy is back, when the whole world is looking at you like the world power that you guys are before. Now like a lot of things will happen when you are serious about your life, when you need a job.
But how would they deal with inequality? There's inequality in the US. There's inequality in the US. So for example, Trump is thinking about making schools private, which means you have to pay for your schooling. There's no way poor black people can.
There are so many ideologies that.
Here's what I'm saying. They want to. Here's what Trump wants to do.
Legacy media is pushing.
I'm telling you the truth. It's not just Trump. It's not just Trump. But here's my point. I'm not saying that he wants to, but there might be the case that Trump and Elon Musk believe that, because I think they're libertarians. They believe that it's not the government's job to pay for education, and they want to get rid of federal education spending totally. I'm not saying that that's true, but if that's true, it's going to cause a disaster. What do you think? Because they'll say pick yourself by your own bootstraps, whether you're black or white. A black kid who grows up in a neighborhood where there's no.
I don't support that kind of policy because
I'm not going against them. I'm just saying that they have to be very careful about.
The
budget is not enough.
I think that's something that I like Elon Musk for. Let us talk about these ideas. Okay, what's gonna work? What's not gonna work?
Let's deliberate.
Before that, they are just pushing some ideologies that it is not backed by what people want. So these are things that people are talking about. Like when you.
So I'm not against Trump and them. I'm just saying that that's still a problem they're going to face.
If it doesn't work, then you retract it. There are some things that Trump is going to some policies that he will introduce. If it doesn't go well with the people, he can retract it. Then do just like the Obamacare. People say, from the onset, his first term, people are saying he's going to squash it. Even himself, he said he's going to squash Obamacare. But when he gets there, he sees that it will be a disaster for him to totally squash Obamacare. He didn't do that. You understand me?
Yeah, he's very smart. And let me say something about Trump during COVID. Trump gave me money during COVID. Let me tell you the story. During COVID, I didn't have a job, right? And I was getting unemployment money. The government the Republican parties and everybody, they canceled it. They said we're not going to resign it. Trump used executive order to resign it, and I got my money. Hallelujah. You understand what I'm saying? So
You
yeah,
get
what do
me?
you think? What do you think? What do you think of Falabi? Very good show so far. What do you think of Falabi? Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I quite agree with you. And one thing I want us to know and not lose sight of is the fact that this Trump government still has to operate under the Constitution. Whatever it is
Yeah.
that Elon Musk is planning, it still has to be within the framework of the, United Constitution of the
Congress and
United
Senate.
States. Yes, and the Senate. And if you look at some issues, like there was this bill that was being pushed by Republicans for research for kids' cancer. The Democrats stood against it. So this is just a power play. Just because the Democrats are sulking that they've lost their influence in the Senate. And the
Oh, they've
Senate
lost
for
it.
the
Yeah.
last 8
Exactly.
years, the Senate for the
Exactly.
last 8 years has been Democrat controlled. So in my own opinion, I think by the time the government begins to shape up, the far-reaching influences that you are seeing that Elon Musk is demonstrating will actually peter out, and you are going to be seeing the dividends of the kind of policies that I
Yeah.
think Trump is putting in place, which I
And
think,
I'll agree. Overall, the American economy will improve. It
of course,
remains to be seen if the inequality will improve. So the economy will improve overall, which will help blacks,
of
whites,
course.
everybody.
And
But
like
there's
you
still the
rightly
problem of
mentioned,
inequality. Yeah, yeah.
And like you rightly mentioned, the young kid, the young talented kid, all those tech kids in Silicon Valley and that went to Ivy League schools, they all had some level of help and assistance from government funds. Otherwise, they wouldn't have
Yeah.
gotten to that stage. So if they
Yeah,
wipe out
yeah.
education
And also
funding,
there's a problem. So there's a problem in the US in which now IT companies are hiring people from China rather than Americans because
exactly,
the kids in China and Russia and
and
India
India,
are smarter than the American kids.
so
That's why the US government needs to spend on American schools or
exactly.
we
That's
won't be
where I was
competitive.
going. That's exactly where I'm
Yeah.
going. So because the
Yeah, I picked
Japanese,
up your
the
cue. Yeah.
Jews, and the Indians are dominating education in America. So you have to bridge the gap by funding. That's the only way they can bridge the gap. If they remove that,
Yeah.
they're
So
going to
so
allow
that's going to
foreigners to take
require
over.
spending, but in order to spend on those things, they need to slash the budget by a lot, but they need to make sure that they spend more on education
Now, I think they have
technology.
to.
What do you think?
I think they have to make
A
compromises.
balance.
Yes, there has to be a balance
But the first thing they
because
have to do is
they're
end that
spending
war in
so much.
Ukraine.
Yeah,
End the war
sure,
in Ukraine. That's the
sure,
first thing
sure,
they need to do.
sure,
Then
sure,
they need to
sure.
end the war with Israel. I don't know if they'll do it. Then the third thing they need to do is disband NATO. We don't
Yeah.
damn need NATO anymore. NATO is an aggressive organization which will lead to World War II. We need to get
But
rid of it.
But
What
in
do you
my
think?
own opinion, I
Afolabi,
think
Desai?
I think it's faster to get the Ukraine crisis solved first.
Oh, that's done. That's going to be done. Get that over with first. Then we can
Yes,
talk about Israel. And in fact, the
Israel.
Israel crisis is not so much about money. It's about the human disaster.
Yeah,
It's a
exactly.
human
Yeah,
disaster.
yeah,
And
sure.
it has to end. And it's not going to end. Trump can't end the war with Israel and Palestine. Let me tell you why. He can't do it. It's up to China, Russia, USA, France,
Of course.
everybody. No one country can end that. The
Of
world
course.
is supposed to be coming together to end that.
Of
So
course.
even if, but Trump can end the war in Ukraine very quickly by cutting the funding. Ukraine
Of
is
course.
losing. They're
Of course.
losing.
Of course.
No,
Of
no,
course.
no, they're not
Okay.
losing. They've lost. What do you think, Saeed? But we're gonna go head out soon. Yeah.
Yeah, cause let me my own thinking is that with what they say Elon Musk is doing to Donald Trump, I still go back to my saying that it is legacy media and Democrats being a bad loser trying to find a way to split them up.
Okay, but
Because
can you give
majority
us
of
the
all the
specific? What are
majority,
they accusing? Give us the specific accusations they're making about Elon. What are
yeah,
they saying
the
specifically?
influence on this bill that
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
they
No.
that
To be honest with you,
so
he does have
they are saying
influence
that
because
it's
he's rich.
because they are saying that because he tweeted about it and he was saying that if any senators or any lawmakers that did not make sure the bill is not passed shouldn't be reelected. These are things that normal people are saying already
A citizen
on
can say
Twitter.
it. A citizen can say it. Yeah. And let me tell you the truth. If they don't pass his bill, he doesn't have the power to sack them. You get my point?
It
So he
doesn't.
doesn't have
You
influence.
understand?
Of
Yeah,
course, the
It
he's just speaking
Constitution
his
doesn't.
does not
mind.
allow
So
him.
He's
they
just
are now
speaking his
making
mind.
it sound
Yes,
like,
he's just
yeah,
speaking his mind.
He's
He's
just
still
speaking his
under
mind. But what he can
the
do, but
control of
what
the
he can do,
American
but
Constitution.
what he
He's
can
still
do is because he has power.
exactly.
But what he
Exactly.
can do but what he can do, because he has power and money, he can back candidates who will do what he wants them to do.
Of
He can
course,
do
of
that. That's
course,
legal.
of course, of
That's
course,
the American system. That's the
of course.
American system.
Capitalist. That
If I
is
have $1 billion, let me tell you
capitalism.
something. Let me tell you something. If I had $10 billion, I'm going to give everybody in Congress each $500,000 and say, end this war in Israel. If I have the money, because that's what I want. And in America, it's legal. You get my point?
Sure.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
I think from what we're saying now, that it is not a crime for you to be a billionaire and see a good candidate that you know that people
them.
like him and the people like the candidate and he's going to do good for the country.
No, it's the same
and
thing.
you use
It's the
your
same
money
thing.
to back this candidate.
Saeed,
it is not a crime.
Saeed, it's the same thing. AIPAC wants to keep on killing Palestinian kids. AIPAC wants them to die. So they give money to Harris as lobby and they give her money. They give all the black politicians who are killing people in an apartheid state who don't have shame that we were also an apartheid state and you're now doing the same thing. AIPAC gives them money and then they pass bills to kill children. It's the same thing. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing, and it's not illegal. So if Elon, like you said, if Elon Musk wants to give money to influence politicians to pass the things he wants, it's okay. It's not oligarchy. Well, it is oligarchy, but it's no different from the oligarchy of AIPAC, which is paying Democrats to kill kids in Palestine. What do you say, Afolabi? Then we'll go back to. No, you go ahead. Go ahead, Saeed. Yeah.
Yeah, but
go ahead, Saeed.
the thing is, all these ideologies that we are talking about are people-oriented ideas that they wanted. It's more like people want this thing, and because he's a billionaire, he too is supported it. Then he's using his influence to make sure these things are done.
And also, he's also following the will of the people. He's following the will of the people because the people have spoken.
I think that's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah,
he's following the will of the people.
Because he won't make money. He won't make money if the people aren't happy. He will not make money if the people aren't happy.
Exactly. So that's why I said common sense. So all these things that they are saying, they want power for themselves. Democrats they know that the
Democrats. Let me see what the Democrats are. The Democrats are people who just work. They're bureaucrats. They work and collect money. They don't ask about ideology. Yeah. But the only thing they want is for a boy. If a boy is 12 years old, if he feels he's a girl, his parents can castrate him. Exactly. That's what they want.
Those kind of nonsense ideology.
All right, Afolabi, take us out. This was a beautiful show, guys.
Yeah, what I just wanted to say was people don't realize that there are peaks and there are troughs. When Elon Musk took over Twitter, there was a dip in their finances and the company was not doing well for some time. Now he has taken the company up again and people are beginning to talk about him. He's using his influence on X to run the communication system. And he knows that social media is an effective tool to do this, coupled with the fact that he's very, very rich. So what I feel is that the Democrats are afraid that in 4 years' time, the outcomes of all these governments will far outweigh what they ever did for 8 years. I just feel
it'll make them look bad.
Exactly.
And then people look bad. It'll make them look bad, and people will vote for
8 years, more than 8 years.
They're just
what about Soros?
No, next election.
They are accusing
next election.
Accusing Elon Musk. Isn't that what Soros and Coles have been doing to CNN and Murdoch and all these people? They've been doing this.
Also, have you guys noticed? Have you noticed that since Trump got reelected, he's no longer playful. He doesn't joke anymore. He looks serious when he's talking. He's no longer entertaining people. These guys are serious. They're very serious. And my argument is, I'm not a Trump fan. I am a Trump fan, but I don't think Trump is doing good because he wants to be good. He's doing good because he doesn't want his name to be insulted in 4 years. He cares about his name. He doesn't want people to say he's rubbish. And Afolabi, let me ask you a question. When you don't want people to say you're rubbish at your job, what do you do?
Of course, you work hard at it.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Trump. He doesn't want to be remembered as the person who rubbished America. So that's his motivation. Doesn't mean he loves America, but he loves himself because he's a narcissist. But he doesn't want his name to be degraded.
Of course.
We can't name one bad thing he did when he was president first 4 years. Not one. The only thing I'm against with Trump
I think that's why I'm rooting for him, because I know that he's going to. There are some policies, there are some plans that he will present. If he's not working for the people, he's this kind of person that he will withdraw it and say, okay,
and he'll change. because
Yeah,
you know
and it will
why?
change.
But that's why, because he's a populist. So he's a populist president,
Yeah,
which means just like Abiola, he's depending on pleasing the people. That's all you can do. That's all you
exactly.
can do.
Isn't
Yeah.
that what people want? Like, okay, oh, listen
That's
to
what.
us. This is what we want. If like,
No, no,
and
no, no,
Democrats,
no,
they don't
no,
have
no,
that
no,
kind
no,
of
no.
leader.
Afolabi, we just want 12-month abortion after 12 months, after the child is born. When the child is 3 months old, we still want to kill them. I'm exaggerating.
Those are Democrat ideologies. You know what I
I'm
mean?
exaggerating.
Yeah.
Abortion,
Afolabi,
abortion,
take us out.
abortion, abortion.
Yeah.
I can't
I'm,
even believe
I'm
millions of
for
Americans
abortion. I'm
believe in
just
that
saying the
shit.
Democrats, they use that strategy of focusing on identity politics without
Yeah,
focusing on economics.
and
Let me tell you,
millions,
if the
millions,
economy is bad,
millions of
nobody.
Americans bought into that.
If the economy is bad, nobody will. A single mother won't. If the economy is good, a single mother doesn't even want to have abortion if she knows that her child can be taken care of. So fuck these
Taken
people,
care
man.
of, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Take us out, Afolabi. Yeah.
Okay, another wonderful Trump show. It's been a while we did a Trump show, but this one was massively enjoyable. And from me,
Excellent.
Said,
Yeah.
yeah, and from me, Said and
Actually,
Mustafa.
we did one 13 days ago. It had 60 views, which is good.
Oh,
Guys, keep watching
okay.
our show. We love America, but we also love Nigeria. We love the world, and we love Palestine. Take us out, Afolabi, again.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you.
Yeah,
Very
like
good
and
show.
subscribe,
See you
like
guys.
and
See
subscribe,
you guys
guys.
tomorrow. Okay.